Now, going across to the West Coast, there has been a new development involving a juror at the Robert Pickton murder trial. The CBC's Susanna De Silva is covering this story for us. She joins me now from the courthouse in New Westminster. Susanna, thanks for joining us. What happened in court today?
Well, court was actually delayed this morning as the judge dealt with an allegation against one of the jurors. Just before lunch, he brought in the full jury and gave them a brief explanation of what was happening. He told them a matter has arisen with respect to a juror, alleging that a juror had spoken about this case in a way that was contrary to the instructions I gave you at the beginning of this trial. He then told jurors that he had then conducted an inquiry, but that he was satisfied the trial could continue with the 12 jurors as is. He then told jurors that this was the end of the issue, that there would be no more said, that he had told this juror that she was not to discuss this issue with the rest of the jury, and that all the information they needed had come from the judge. He then went on to remind them some of the instructions he gave them at the beginning of this trial, telling them that they were not to come to any kind of a conclusion until the end of the trial, till all of the evidence, closing arguments, the judge had given his instruction, until they had retired, that they are not to come to any kind of a conclusion, that they are to remain impartial, and also that they are not to speak about this case to absolutely anyone. He reminded them that this is in fact a duty, that he was sure that by now they know it is not fun, but that there are rules that they need to follow to ensure that this is a fair trial.
All right, that seems pretty clear. So what are we expecting this afternoon?
Well, we'll likely continue with some of the expert witnesses the defense told the court that they would be bringing forward. A couple of the experts we have not yet heard from are the aptitude and education experts, people to speak about the intelligence of Robert Pickton. One of them will speak about Pickton and his school records, how he had done in school. We'll also hear about aptitude testing done on Pickton, as well as IQ testing. We also expect to hear about the wills of his parents, including his mother's will that only gave him his portion of his estate when he was 40 years old. Now, this is part of the defense's way of countering some of the Crown's key evidence, and those are those videotape statements the jury saw at the beginning of this case where Pickton is speaking to police and he makes statements that the Crown alleges amount to confessions.
All right, Susanna, very interesting. Thanks for the update.
Thank you.